so weird coming from this angle. Um, Welcome everybody in my name podcast. Kevin Brian Sherrard. A little bit off today because for some reason my computer decided to act janky, as they say. Everything's a little bit off, but we have a great show planned for you. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, we're on StreamYard and on YouTube and NYMD Podcast. I forgot to even turn my television down, so I got to do that in a second. Also, we're on Facebook, IG, and the Twitter as well. And also, you can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, everywhere you find podcasts, you will find NYMD Podcast. B, take it away, and then we're going to turn down our TV. I'll be right back.
Man, Hurt. What a week. What a week. That's all I have to say, man. We have so much to talk about today.
I didn't get to dance to the music like I normally do, so.
Yeah, man, just so much to talk about today, man. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know where we start today. I mean,
we start.
I'm coming after people today. You're coming after people. Man, we have so much to talk about, man. I almost just want to kind of get like some of the minor stories out the way so we can get to the impactful stuff we really need to talk about today.
Well, first things I want to get to, just real quick, we're not going to take too long, is, dude, you went to go see some Wolves. That's cool, man.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, Hurt would probably love this, man. But yeah,
I love me some Wolves.
Yeah, man, it was cool, man. I got to see some Wolves. Yeah, went to the Wolf Sanctuary up in Lititz, Pennsylvania, and it was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool, man.
Good.
Saw a wolf named Loki, so I was like, man, Hurt would be loving it. So he was the best wolf, man. He was showing out, man. He was giving
just like a regular Loki.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, but no, it was really cool. But that was a cool experience, man. That was
good. Okay. Yeah, I definitely will make. I didn't know about it, but I definitely will make it there.
Yeah.
The reason I really go to the DC Zoo is to see the wolves.
They have them in DC Zoo. They have them in DC too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but the one time I went, I don't think they were there. I think they were remodeled. I was like, come on. I was like, I came and walked all the way around for this. And then there was Red Wolves. Those are Red Wolves they have in DC.
Oh, they had the Red Wolves. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The place I went to.
Hopefully that'll be the new name of the Washington football team, but we'll see. But we have a couple of names to call the Washington.
Yeah, I was about to say they have a lot of names they've been called this week.
Yes.
Yes, but yeah,
definitely.
man.
All right, so let's where we're starting out at.
You know what? Let's start off with a little bit of baseball this week, man, because I just want to get this out the way real quick because
yes,
we're down to 4 teams right now, man, and honestly, these are the 4 worst teams, dude. That could have
the absolute worst.
I know in the National League you hate these 2 teams. We have the Dodgers and the Braves. And we had a controversial call. The game ended. It was a great game. I couldn't make it to the end because I told you, man. It's funny. Like I don't watch a lot of playoff baseball, but when I do, it's just so late. I mean, it's just these games take forever, dude. And I tried to watch the final game because I'm like, this is a game, not game 7, but it's a game 5. This is the deciding game. And I think for a while it was 0-0, then it was 1-0, then Ruff hit a home run in deep center field. It was tied up 1-1, and then I couldn't make it. But apparently it ended on a very controversial check swing that you are not happy about.
That was the Dodgers Giants.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay, so the Dodgers Giants was the 2 teams that had the best record in baseball played in the. I don't even know the conference. I forgot what series. The series before the NLCS, the divisional series.
Yeah.
So they played in the divisional series, and it was game 5. The worst call in the history of life.
No,
it was, dude. We've watched baseball from the beginning of time, since we were little kids.
Right.
And I think at this point, we're educated enough to know what a check swing strike looks like.
Yes.
It didn't look like what happened in that Giants game.
No.
And that thing didn't even go around. You know how it's like, did it go past the plate? Did it do
Right.
that? His bat was so far back that he got it. That it's really just an instant. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the first base umpire. Oh yeah, he went around. He ran around. He ran around where? What are you looking? I don't care what, dude. They had aerial points, every point. There's nothing that shows that dude went around and that's a strike. No, and that's to end a game and to eliminate a team from postseason play. And you can't make. Oh my, this is human. I can't. This stuff like this is what kills me.
But okay. But how many games have ended on third strikes, right? Where the dude's sitting there looking at a third strike and the ball's clearly not a strike. Like
which makes me crazy too. You know that.
Yeah, it's
the same thing. This is garbage. But if I'm up there,
but you think this is the worst. You're saying this is the worst ever. It was a check swing. Like how many check swings have you seen where you're like, was that a check swing? That wasn't a check swing. I mean, it happens all the time. Now it shouldn't happen in the divisional round of the playoffs on the final out. It should not. Absolutely not. I'm not making any excuses of
it does.
Right. But I don't think this is the worst call ever. I just don't.
It's the worst call ever because we got this series that we have to talk about now. That's why. Yes. I agree.
That's
the outcome of it dictated this garbage that we
it sucks. And look, I had to send you a text this week. I'm gonna move on to the AL real quick. I sent you a text and I said I probably had one of the worst takes ever. I said the Red Sox have no heart because they came to Baltimore. They got no heart. They came to Baltimore, lost 2 out of 3 to the Orioles. With their playoff lives on the line. I said this team has no heart. Well, that was a horrible take because they go on and beat the freaking Rays, who was the best team in the AL this year. And they've taken what? Are they up 1-0 right now?
No, it's 1-1.
It's 1-1. Okay. On the Astros.
But they did hit 2 grand slams yesterday.
Yeah, and back-to-back innings, I think.
Yeah.
Last night. That's crazy. So it's 1-1 right now in the AL Championship Series, and I think it's coming home to the Red Sox, right?
Yes.
All right. And then in the NL, we have the Braves and the Dodgers. How the heck did the Braves make it to the National League Championship Series? Good Lord.
Well, they had not saying they had the easier. I just don't know. So I get how it works out with the divisional. The team who wins the division gets a bye, and then the team with the best record plays the team who wins that playing the wild card game, which happens to be the team that has the second best record.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you actually looked at it, the Braves probably should have faced LA, and then the Giants should have faced Milwaukee. Right?
Yeah.
If they reseeded, which they don't do in baseball. But that's not anything I care about or I'm upset about because it's rare that occurs. The Braves, I can't. It's hard for me to say anything good about them at all. Literally, I don't care how good they are. I just can't. It's very difficult. But obviously, they have a good team. They have solid hitters and pitchers, and they've just been a solid team all season. Freddie Freeman, they're a solid team, same as the Dodgers. But the Dodgers have all the star power.
Yeah.
So when you have Kershaw, when you make a trade in the middle of the season to get Trey Turner and to get Scherzer, Scherzer came in for the save for that check swing that never happened. He saved that game for them. So that's where they got to this point. But that's all I'm talking about. This. Who's going to win that series? Because I'm not talking
I was going to say, So what's your pick, man?
Well, I'm only picking the Boston-Houston series. I'm not picking this one. But for Boston, you know what? I'm going to pick Boston. Only because I feel like they have heart. They do have heart, but I cannot, like, in my conscience and my soul, I do not want Houston to feel validated from all the stuff that has occurred with them and getting to a World Series and having the potential to win a World Series. I would feel like, you know, all that, again, obviously they've been a talented team, but they cheated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't want that to be rewarded by them winning and going any further, honestly. So
Yeah,
I'm rooting against that aspect of the game.
Yeah, especially when you think of their punishment. Their punishment was pretty light, in terms of like
They're
the
still
players.
their punishment
Yeah,
should have been way more severe than what it was.
exactly. And that being said, I think Astros are going to beat the Red Sox. I can't pull for the Red Sox. Hurt. I can't do it.
Well, I don't like it, but so you're going to pull for cheaters.
I'm not. I can't. I'm not pulling for either one of them, which is probably why I'm not even watching the AL series.
Okay, so I watch the AL, you watch the NL.
Yeah, I can't watch it. Now I know you really hate these two National League teams. I really hate these two American League teams, man. I can't do it. Like,
well, I mean, what if it's Yankees, Houston?
Ugh,
exactly.
I gotta go Houston too. I can't pull for the Yes, I'm going Houston in both.
Okay. See, I can't, like, in this one, I hate these equally the same. Like, I can't. Even if it was like the worst other combination would be like Dodgers Phillies. Like, I couldn't do that either.
Okay.
But if you sprinkle, like, I hate the Cardinals, but if you sprinkle in the Cardinals or Cubs, or if this was the Giants Braves, it's easier for me. But I can't. This one, I'm because I can't. To me, I just feel like I can't watch the World Series now, or whoever makes it to the World Series from the American League. I have to root for that team. And I'm a National League guy, but I have to root for that. I cannot have the Braves or the Dodgers win. Dodgers winning back to back? No, I can't. Well, I cannot. But who's got winning?
Well, I have the Dodgers beating the Braves, even though the Braves are up 1-0 right now.
Yep, they're 1-0.
Yeah, I have the Dodgers beating the Braves. I think it's going to be a Dodgers Astros series with the Dodgers coming out on top. I mean, dude, either way, it's not going. I mean, we're not going to get a winner we're happy about either way.
No. But if I honestly, for me, which is crazy, the lesser evil of all of these to me is the Red Sox.
No.
So I would rather the Red Sox come out for title. I cannot do the Braves. I cannot. And Houston, they've cheated. And I feel like they've been rewarded without being punished. And for them, I feel like they're just going to just stick up a middle finger to everybody because look what we did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though they were booed and people banging trash cans, I don't feel the vitriol towards them was the same. Of course, it's a long season. But I don't want that team. They don't deserve to be there. I mean, talent-wise, of course. But, I mean, they shouldn't even been in the postseason this year.
Yeah, I agree.
I just have a hard time. I don't want them. I just don't want them there. Now, if this is like a Boston Yankee series, I still gotta go for Boston. I can't go over there.
Oh, yeah.
So if the Rays were here, I'd pick the Rays and I wouldn't even worry about it. But,
yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, man. Well, that's baseball. Yeah, we'll see what happens in this championship series.
That was tough.
Like I said, not really looking forward to it, but we'll see what happens. All right, man. Let's move on to the NBA real quick. Because this is, like you said, October kind of snuck up on us, and with October sneaking up on us, we have Halloween sneaking up on us. But that also means it's NBA time, man. And NBA starts next week. Hurt? Is that correct?
Yeah, it starts this coming week.
Okay, this week. Wow. Week, yeah, and let's see. We had Ben Simmons. He reported to the team.
Yeah, to Philly. Yep.
Yeah. We have the Expendables getting together out in LA. We have Kyrie. He's not playing for the team in Brooklyn. Any other stories that pique your interest with the NBA? And do you have any early title favorites, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I feel like the Kyrie situation. Lakers 0-6 in the preseason. So they're opposite. So they're opposite of the Ravens in the preseason.
Yeah.
Well, the funny is when AD, LeBron, and what's his name, Russ stand together, they do is their numbers are 360. So that's kind of funny. I was like, oh, okay, but I mean, I honestly, everybody knows we watched it. We've done the show for now 3 years, so
Crazy.
yeah, everybody knows how much I love LeBron. The thing is, even if I didn't, I just want to see how this team functions because it's still a whole bunch of and for this is something you would understand. It's a whole bunch of different oatmeals thrown together. Like I feel like there's part of oatmeal that hasn't gotten the water to it yet, and it's still kind of dry on this side. Then this side the texture is okay. Then the other side it's like a little bit too mushy. And you got to kind of mix it together to see what happens, and hopefully everything turns out okay. That's how I feel like the Lakers are. It's like this big thing of weird oatmeal that, if put together, could actually make something consistent.
Yeah, but or you can just eat it straight out the packet and
yeah. Only here, yes, you can eat straight out the packet. And who knows? It probably won't work out if you do that. But for you, it did. For other human beings, probably not. So they're interesting. I want to see how the Bucks perform after winning a championship.
Yeah,
to see if they're going to stay motivated. How certain people, how Miami's going to do this season. Of course, the Nets with the Kyrie situation, which he's not like he's going to miss the whole season. Just how they've been injured anyway, but how they start out the season and go until he gets back into the fold, how they're going to perform. Can the Knicks have another playoff season? Can they improve? Again, I brought up the Heat because they have Kyle Lowry. Can he add something to that mix as well? So Toronto's got their team back. Can they just be happy playing from home? How is Dallas going to perform? How is Golden State with everybody healthy?
Yeah,
it's so many good stories. I'm honestly looking forward. My basketball season starts December 25th. But for this season, it may start a little bit earlier because it's fun because there's so many stories. How is Phoenix going to handle losing in NBA Finals and coming back? How's Utah with the reigning MVP and Djokovic going to perform? It's just so many. Denver with Jokic. Utah. It's just there's so many good teams in the West. The East is intriguing. How's Boston going to be? So I'm actually looking forward to. I'm basically just the whole season. There's so many storylines.
Yeah, I'm looking to see how the Lakers are gonna do with all their fantasy football. With their fantasy team from 5 years ago, whatever.
10 years ago.
Yeah, how that's going to perform. I'm curious to see how the Wizards are going to do, man, because they traded Russ. They got a lot of depth. They're a team with a lot of depth, but maybe not necessarily a lot of star power in their starting lineup. So I'm curious to see how they're going to perform. I'll see how this situation works out in Brooklyn. With Kyrie not being on the team to start the season, see how that works. And you have a fully healthy Kevin Durant, you know what I'm saying, for the entire season. So I'm curious to see what Brooklyn's going to do. I really want to see how Golden State's going to do with a fully healthy team. So, like you said, a lot of good storylines. Looking forward to the season. Now, do you have any early picks? Any early NBA Finals picks?
Well, what's funny is that we said all these teams, didn't even mention the Clippers. Yeah. Like we totally forgot about.
You're right, dude. They didn't even pop in my head because
no, they didn't either until I remember. Dude, I named Utah, I named Denver, I named Phoenix, I named Golden State. I swear I named Dallas. I did not mention the Clippers because Kawhi's out for a little bit, so he's not starting the season with the team because he's not totally healthy yet.
Yeah,
and that was a team that made it to the conference finals for the first time in their history last season. So, can they get better from that? Man,
I can honestly say I have no idea from either either conference, who's going to go to the final? I don't even know. I mean, by default, I'll say the Lakers.
Oh
Just
no! Why are they the default?
dude, because I don't know. I don't know. Because they have LeBron.
Yeah,
So
but they have LeBron, but everybody has to be healthy. If AD's not playing, LeBron can't do it. He's old.
yeah. So give me your pick. I really don't know who to pick.
Yeah, man, you know, I'm gonna go with Phoenix. I'm just gonna go with Phoenix again. I got to see how Golden State is. I know they're missing some people, but I think your boy coming back, he's gonna be motivated. He wants to prove how good he is. Clay wants to prove that obviously they needed him because look how they were terrible last year. So with him and the big three of that team coming back, how good they're going to be. I just think the complete team, even though they're a year older, but that means it may be good. Maybe not for Chris Paul, but their best player isn't Chris Paul. You know what I mean? It's Devin Booker. If Booker is a year better, a year wiser in the playoffs, I think that team has what it takes to. I didn't even mention Portland to get back to the finals. So out the West, I'm going to say Phoenix. In the East, I mean, odds-on favorites got to be Brooklyn, but
yeah,
we're not going to have a back-to-back matchup. So I'm just going to say Brooklyn and Phoenix.
Brooklyn and Phoenix. Yeah, I'm with Jaden and you. Yeah, the Nets are easily winning if healthy. They bought the Bucks. They bought the Bucks to 7 just a healthy KD. Yeah, I'm going to go Brooklyn. I really, if I would say Philly if they had solved the Ben Simmons situation, but yeah, Brooklyn is just too talented, man.
Yep.
All right, man.
Well, how do you think the Wizards are going to do, real quick? Since stay local,
you know what?
Playoffs.
All right. I think it's going to take some time for this team to figure out who they are.
Okay.
They have a lot of pieces, but they got to figure out they got to figure out how to meld them. You know what I mean? And the good thing is they still have Bradley Beal, and
that's the best thing they have going for them.
Yeah.
But because it's less pressure, can Kuzma step up and have a good season? There's less pressure on him. It's not like the media frenzy that he had when he was in LA. Like I said, they have some solid pieces. Of course, with the trade, they got Caldwell Pope. They have Montrezl Harrell. They have Kyle Kuzma. Of course, Bradley Beal's a starter team. But they also added Spencer Dinwiddie as a free agent. So they have some, with guys like Hachimura, who's already on the team. Bertans. I think they have enough to make the playoffs.
Okay, I hope so. Like I said, they have a lot of good pieces, but I just think they need to. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to figure out how to, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Figure out lineups, how to mesh together. But yeah, I think they have a lot of depth, man, which is good. All right, man. I need you to tell me what happened in college football yesterday, man. I didn't get to see any games yesterday, so I just need I need a rundown. What happened last week, man? Oh, I do know real quick. Congratulations to your Towson Tigers. They took out was it Rhode Island?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Undefeated Rhode Island.
Yeah, they took out Rhode Island yesterday at Johnny United's field or stadium. So shout out to
it was a dominating victory. My Tigers are now back to 500. So we're at 3-3. So I'm happy with that performance. I knew Rhode Island coming in, I was going to be a tough team. So I'm still very excited that we came in there. Still haven't gone to a game yet. And I'm still iffy. I might as well. I need to go to a game. It's right down the street. I don't even know why I'm fronting, but it's just like, how can I go? No, I'm just going to go. So I want to look at the schedule, and I will be reporting one day live, probably on one of our channels from the game. So I am going to go soon, not next week. I don't even know who we play next week, but I should have gone to the Morgan game. That's just how it goes. But college football. So a couple big upsets because this is the year of the upset.
Oh yeah, all right.
So and that makes me happy. Well, let's start with the Friday games real quick. Oregon survived a tough game with a fourth down stoppage at the goal line of California to hang on 24-17 at home.
Okay.
Number 24, San Diego State held on, actually came from behind to beat San Jose State. Saturday, the number one team in the country stayed the number one team. They crushed number 11, Kentucky. It's funny. One of the signs at game day said, after today's game, Kentucky's going to say that they're a basketball school again.
Nice.
Which is funny. So, yeah, they dominated that game 30-13 over Kentucky. Cincinnati had an easy game against UCF, 56-21. Number 4, Oklahoma won. Alabama won. They're number 5 now. Michigan State still continues to creep up. They're still undefeated, 7-0 in the Big Ten with a hard-fought game against Indiana. Oklahoma State, they're undefeated. They beat Texas on the road. Ole Miss.
Wait a minute, Hurt. You haven't mentioned Iowa yet, man.
There's a reason. I
know. I'm getting nervous. I haven't heard Penn State. I haven't heard Iowa. I'm getting nervous.
Penn State was off.
Okay.
Now, Arkansas, number 17, beaten at home decisively by Auburn team who's looking to redeem themselves. Ole Miss with a couple of. This is Lane Kiffin's first game back as head coach. I think he left Tennessee after a year and took the USC job. The Tennessee fans remembered that. So they started throwing and pelting golf balls and whatever they had in their hands on the field, which caused a delay. But Ole Miss snuck out with a 31-26 victory. Arizona State was upset on the road against Utah. BYU was upset against Baylor. I picked that. I knew that was going to happen. The game of the weekend, which made me happy, was LSU beat Florida. So Florida's got 3 losses. Oh, no playoffs for you, forward. Oh, go home now. You go bye-bye. Texas A&M won. NC State starting off really well, 5-1 with a big win over Boston College, which brings us to the number 2 team in the country after beating Penn State last week. Iowa was at home with a big Big Ten game against Purdue and got whooped 24-7.
Damn.
So Purdue came in there, took their names, beat Iowa up, controlled the line of scrimmage, and moved the ball up and down the field on Iowa, who has a really stout defense. But maybe it was a letdown from last week's game, but Purdue 24-7 over number 2 Iowa. So the upset trend continues.
All right. So my question is, Iowa gets beat. Where are they going to be ranked now?
They're not going to fall out of the top 10. They're still a good team. So, but the thing is, who moves to number 2?
Well, hold on. Answer my question though, real quick.
They're going to go to like 6.
Give me a number.
They're going to go wherever Penn State fell to. They'll be ahead of Penn State because they beat them. So I'm going to say they go to 6 or 7. Okay.
I was just going to make the point because, Alabama lost. You know what I'm saying? They moved to what, number 5?
Yeah, because Alabama was 1, so they moved down 4 spots. So if you're 2 when you move down to 6, it's now again Alabama did lose on the road, not at home. There's people can look at that differently, but I was not falling out of the top 10. So they don't have to. They can still keep building their resume, but they're not falling out of the top 10.
Okay.
Yeah, because Purdue's a good team as well. Honestly, I mean they're 4-2. They're 2-1 in the Big Ten, so they have a really good program with Jeff Brom as their coach. So I'm not worried about them. They're not falling out. Yeah, they're just now. Can they move back to number 2? It's going to be need to be a whole bunch of upsets ahead of them. But who do you move to number 2? That's the whole question. Now Oklahoma, who's 7-0, number 4, played harder teams, or do you move Cincinnati, who's number 3, who did beat a Notre Dame team, killed UCF this week? We know their scheduling is a little bit different in the AAC. How did I get CAA is Towson's conference. I got Towson in my brain. The AAC, do you move them to number 2? If that's the case, that's huge for them. That's huge. So I mean, Georgia 1, Cincinnati 2. So I'm waiting to see that, because think about your top 4 could be Georgia, Cincinnati, Oklahoma, Alabama, which would be, by the way, all red teams. Which So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
But the
Interesting.
good thing is that look. But if you look at the top 25, look even the top, the top 25 or even the top 10. Look at all these Big Ten teams. Your conference is not easy.
Yeah.
So Michigan State's still undefeated. Ohio State, of course, had that one loss, but they've been on a roll after that. Michigan is playing well. Iowa, of course, had this one defeat, playing well. Penn State is playing well. So it's again college football. I can't talk about it enough. I love it. It's an upset every weekend. Games are tough. It's awesome. With a capital A.
Good question.
Yes.
Does Maryland have a shot against Minnesota next week at Minnesota?
Well, Minnesota knocked off Nebraska. No.
Yeah.
They're on a roll now. They're 4-2, 2-1 in the Big Ten. I don't think they're overlooking it. I thought Nebraska could try to sneak in there with their defense, but Minnesota really took that game to them. So I don't think in the battle of the M's, I think Minnesota's going to win this.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. All right. Well, Hurt, thanks.
Everybody has a chance.
Okay, so you're saying there's a chance.
Yes. Yes.
Oh man. By the way, I was completely wrong about something last week when I texted you. I know real quick, not to digress too much, but your fantasy 99 versus 1%. But it actually worked out in your favor after the Ravens game. I thought it worked against you, but it actually worked out.
But I didn't win, though, I don't think, right?
I thought you did.
Was it the tie?
It was a tie?
I didn't. Yeah, I don't think I won any of my fantasy games last week.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was. But if it was a tie, I'm fine for a tie.
Okay.
Because I mean, I was like every single team I had lost. So, I'm still not recovered from those.
Have you recovered in your college football picks at all? Have you made any?
No, I didn't have a great week this week, so I'm really just gonna have to go for upsets from now on.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I don't know why I didn't save that. But I was 2 points behind, and I was like, "Good, I got this." Nope. Fell down the hill. I can't get back up. I can't get back up. So.
All right.
We'll see. But yeah, we'll see. All right, what you got?
All right, man. I think we're ready to move on to the NFL.
Well, first, we're not, because we forgot the best sport of all time debuted this past weekend. NHL, man. Aren't you excited?
Oh, the debut of
the NHL back on ESPN, by the way. So
okay.
the NHL was back on ESPN, which is kind of cool because that's the only time I really watched it because I love the ESPN coverage. So they're back on ESPN after like 17 years, which I didn't know was that long. And they were just going into the ESPN hockey theme, which is one of the best themes they have for any of their shows. And it's good just to see everybody. They got Mark Messier on some of the coverage. You know, I'm a Messier guy. Number 11, New York Rangers, our forever captain in New York. Brought the Stanley Cup home in '94. It was pretty cool. And then we have interactions because hockey's on TNT. Charles Barkley is on the NHL coverage with Wayne Gretzky. Now you want to talk about great TV? How great? Just how great is that? Because they showed footage of Wayne Gretzky getting into a fight. Charles like, man, what were you doing? Wayne's like, I don't even know what was going on. He's like, I just got the sportsmanship award, and the guy faced up, and I took my gloves off, and I went to him like, man, I'm sorry, I didn't know what was going on. Wayne Gretzky apologized to the guy he was going to fight because he knew he couldn't fight. It was just a hilarious shot. It just Charles being there, and it was a lot, dude. It was a lot of fun. So congrats to NHL coming back. Our boy Ovi is looking for more records. Ovi's looking old. Have you seen him lately?
No.
Well, I wouldn't say he's looking old, but him and you had the same amount of gray hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But Ovi's, so good for him. I hope he has a good season. But of course, let's go Rangers.
Well, he got the season started off with a bang. I know he had 2 goals. I think he had 2 assists.
Yeah.
The Caps, I forgot who they played, but they beat. They started off with a 5-1 win, and I think Ovi moved into 5th place in the all-time goals in NHL. Yeah, after his opening night performance. So, yeah, man, good for him, man. He's still doing it, man. So,
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know how legally old he is, but he's
Yeah.
he's doing his thing. So good for good for the Oster.
Yeah, yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
let's go back to the NFL, baby.
What's going on to this NFL, man? Well, you sent me a text after last week's podcast. He said, "Oh man, we forgot to talk about Gruden." And I think I sent you a text back like with question marks, like what? And you were just like, "Man, just Google it." So yeah,
Dude,
man,
I didn't know. I was so perplexed that you didn't know what was going on.
dude, honest to goodness, I didn't hear anything about this, about the Gruden email, about was it DeMaurice Smith, until you mentioned something. And I'm gonna tell you what my first thought was. So,
Well, we know what? In the immortal words of my favorite rapper of all time, if you don't know, now you know. But yes, go ahead.
So you sent me the text, and I was like, Google it. I saw the email, and you know, what my first thought was, I was like, yo, I thought this timing was pretty questionable because I knew earlier in the week that they were voting. The NFL Players Association was voting to see if they want to keep DeMaurice Smith in. And the first round, I think it was the first round of votings, which was might have done by like the leadership. Um, they received votes against him, but when the players went to a vote, apparently he was kept on. So I was wondering. My first thought was, man, that's pretty funny that this email is coming out um, to kind of make him look like a sympathetic figure, so that maybe he would get, he would be revoted in. Um, and he was revoted in. But anyway, that was my first thought when I first saw the email. Now, granted, I mean, I was like, man, this is messed up. Don't get me wrong. I was like, this is messed up. But I was like, yo, what's up with Gruden, man, with these comments, man? Like, what's going on? Like, this is messed up. But then when I was thinking, why is this just coming out now? I was like, oh, this must be because of the vote that went down. Then come to Monday, while I'm watching, my game, the Ravens versus the Colts, which was completely overshadowed by John Gruden's news, because we hear Adam Schefter starting to report there's more emails. He started reporting this before the game.
Yeah.
It's like, shoot, there's more emails. Oh my gosh. And he said, he was like, and the NFL is just waiting for the Raiders to see what they're going to do, because apparently they didn't like the response. They didn't like what happened over the weekend, because Gruden still coached. You know what I mean? I think he apologized to the team twice. He said he wasn't racist. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, he apologized to the comments he made about DeMar Smith. I don't know if he apologized to DeMar Smith personally. I didn't hear about that, but I did hear that he apologized for the comments.
Okay, yeah, okay. I do know. I think DeMar Smith, he said, I know he had he had a couple tweets, and yeah, stuff like this. In so many words, pretty much saying, yeah, we have to have to make a change, blah 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 blah. And I think one of them said, I am going to connect with him later or something like that. I'm like, okay. So anyway, watching the game on Monday night, Adam Schefter, like I said, prefaces everything like, yeah, there's more emails. Then during the game, John Gruden is out. At that point, I didn't even care about the game anymore. The Ravens were sucking it up. They were losing. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did this dude say? So I'm up here I'm looking for the New York Times article, read that. Dude, after I read that, I was like, what on earth? I was just so disappointed. I was like, Gruden is he's totally, he is not the dude, we've been seeing on ESPN and QB camp and coach of the Raiders, man. Like, this is not that dude, man. I couldn't, I mean, I could believe it, but I was like, wow, man, this is messed up. This is messed up.
He is what I thought he was. And you know what? Then after that first email, they let him off the hook. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
None of this. We've talked about Gruden before, and I don't know if you remember how I said how I feel about Gruden.
No.
Okay, so I kind of go along the lines of what Keyshawn Johnson was saying this week, that John Gruden seems like a really, really good used car salesman. because I really feel like that's how he's been portrayed. Because he got that.
Wait, was Keyshawn on his team when they won the championship?
When Tampa won, yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, so
Yeah,
he would know. So I value his opinion because he was on that team. He was under him under his leadership. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Again, not saying he's a bad coach or whatever, but some people are more about the kind of way I feel about Urban Meyer. I feel it's more about the winning than the relationships with people. And not saying he wasn't a good coach or he can't coach, but because he did, I think he took the Raiders to one Super Bowl with like Rich Gannon as quarterback.
Not to a Super Bowl. He took them to the AFC Championship. He lost to Tom Brady in the Tuck game.
Okay. So yeah, that's as far as he went there until he got down to Tampa. But again, his fame was living off that one Super Bowl, and he kept giving chance after chance after chance, and he was away for 10 years almost in a broadcast booth, and he comes back and they give him all this power and they put him, as head coach of the Raiders. But besides all that, it to me it just goes along the fact is we don't know people. We don't know people.
No.
And an investigation into the as I call them sometimes privately, because I don't want to diss them because it's my team, but the WTFs emails. I guess him and Bruce seem to be like BFFs or something. Bruce Allen, former GM. Thank goodness he's gone, Allen. Going ahead and going back and forth with, just talking about everything under the sun and sharing messages and pictures. And I just today, and I told you, I've talked about the cesspool of the Snyder regime. I don't know how I don't know how much, as a fan of the team, it's like this sickness that's within the culture. It started by him, with him leaving all these people to do whatever they wanted to do in an organization, leaving everybody unchecked. And it's good that we found out about these emails of John Gruden basically dissing every race, creed, and religion, knowing the man in these emails. But it stems from the fact that they found these emails, I think 640,000 emails. And somehow they came out with a report that nobody else was found liable to have any of these issues that John Gruden had, which is good, because at least it's not like a systematic thing. And it's John Gruden just obviously, like Brett Favre, just can't seem to not share things that shouldn't be shared. But it comes from the cesspool of what Washington has been. And the one thing that came out of this, besides Gruden, is that, and I keep until it actually occurs, or to keep people going. Again, I love the burgundy and gold, but I know Daniel Snyder's not the day-to-day. He gave it to his wife. He's the CEO. I don't want him at the stadium. I don't want him at football. I want him gone. Let him buy an arena team. Let him buy a team for MSL. He is the worst, and he needs to go. I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for years. He's the worst kind of owner the league can ever have. The worst. He's needed to go. And the first step was getting rid of Bruce Allen, because obviously, as we can tell through emails, Bruce Allen's Class A jerk. And we've known, Washington fans, we've been wanting that for longer than whatever happened. And I'm just sick, but I'm glad this is brought up again. The fact that this organization is still sick, and it still needs to be purged of Daniel Snyder.
Okay. Well, you answered my question, because that was going to be my question to you. I just want, speaking of the Washington football team, I just want to bring up something real quick, because you sent me a text, or maybe it was Dan sent the text saying, "Hey, they're retiring Sean's jersey, number 21 this weekend." And I started to send the text, but I didn't, because I was like, I don't want to piss Hurt off, so I'm not going to send this text. So the text was, sounds like a PR stunt to me. But I was like, I didn't send it because I was like, I don't want to say, I know that's your boy. I was like, I don't want to piss Hurt off, and I don't know much about this. I don't know when this was, this was pre-planned or whatever. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna send that text. Like I said, I know that's Hurt's boy. I don't want to say anything to, make you upset. So I just let it be. But honest to goodness, that was my first thought. Then it comes out, yo, they did just plan this out. Like they just came up with this. And it's total deflection and distraction to what's going on with them right now. And how in the world, are you gonna do that? You're gonna use Sean Taylor to deflect what's going on? That's low, man. That's freaking low. And I even think, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, didn't they get a lot of backlash from the fan base? And I think the Washington football team had to come back and apologize to the fan. Am I correct with that?
It was the thing is, it was last second because fan base didn't know. The alumni weekend idea was planned out, but I don't think retiring Sean's number was.
Was his family coming to town? Like,
I think because it was an alumni weekend thing. I think so.
Okay, all right.
Because they've always been part of, and they always will be part of everything. And the thing is, I do, and this is beyond the show, and I appreciate everybody here. But the reason we've done the show because we've known each other for a long time. Talking about Sean is emotional for me.
Right.
So I'm getting emotional now. So I'm glad you didn't send that.
I had the text, dude. Yeah. I had the text typed up, and I was like,
I definitely at that point in time, I definitely would have taken it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't even had a show today.
Because I know, dude. I was like, no, I'm gonna leave it alone.
I'm glad I took time for me to calm down and everything because again, Washington it's a cluster. It's a cluster. Again, this is. I know people say it's a long time coming and what they're doing. I don't like it that it needs to happen anyway. I just don't feel. I
thought it already happened, dude. When you said
no. Well, again, Washington doesn't retire numbers. There's only 2 numbers retired.
Oh, okay.
It's only Sammy Baugh and Bobby Mitchell's, and Bobby Mitchell was the first black player we ever had.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was the.
Yeah. So like John Riggins' number isn't retired. There's just people don't use it, but they haven't officially retired the number.
Okay.
So, but like Darryl Green, stuff like that, those numbers aren't used, but they haven't been retired. Like this is it. So, I feel like this. I honestly feel like part of it was the alumni weekend was planned, but Sean's number being retired wasn't. And this is a Daniel Snyder move to try to let's just do something good and get out of this, because again, in honesty, they escaped again. Because Gruden became the main story in this whole thing. They became the main story. Now, the whole reason was because how screwed up the organization has been and the investigation into the organization, which they were only fined $10 million. Which for a billionaire is nothing.
Right.
It should have been way more than that. Honestly, control the team. This should have been taken away from him. But I digress. This is the only thing I can do, honestly, today is focus on Sean. So that's what I'm going. I'm just going to focus on him and everything that he meant to this area, the organization, who he was as a player, who he was becoming as a man. And I'm going to focus. I'm not going to focus on where it went and why, but no. The investigation, we heard more about that. It's just probably things you shouldn't hear about that came out, Jay.
We're gonna get back to this, Jay. Trust me, we're not done.
But this is what Snyder is like. What was that movie you like? Now You See Me.
Yes.
That's him. He's the master of card tricks and PR. It's almost like how Arsenal started becoming recently. And you know how much I love my Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because every time we had a bad loss, I swear the next day they released a new jersey. It was like the next day. Like, did they plan this? Knowing that we love them so much that we want to go buy these things. Like, they lose to a team they shouldn't lose to, like Brighton Hove Albion or something. And the next day was like, hey, look, we got a new kit. It's like, damn my money, fine. You know, like, and I'm like, and I remember putting one of the chats like, are they doing this on purpose? You know what I mean? Like, are they really always goading us in because we're so distracted by the fact that they lost and we're angry? Then they released this new piece, this limited edition of something. And we're like, oh, let me get online and get it before it's gone. So I feel like that's what Daniel Snyder has done. And again, he's done it again by putting his wife in charge and doing all these things to where he's not really on the day-to-day. But to me, if he just shows up at the stadium, is too much for me. I do not want him there. I don't want him there. I haven't wanted him there for years. And you know this. He's the owner of the team that I hold almost one of the most dear. You know I bleed burgundy and gold.
Yeah.
And to have this punk, leaderless idiot just run this team day to day because he grew up as a fan, you're not running it like a fan. If you ran this team like a fan, and again, I know people can go back to when he was paying, Bruce and Dion all this money, all this. He was never building a team. He was playing fantasy at that point.
Yeah.
And then he just started hiring people that he was cool with. We all know about Vinny. I don't get into that. But then he brought Bruce back, and Bruce was just like sitting there collecting a paycheck, obviously texting John back and forth, sending photos. Without even him and Snyder be like, hey, what are you doing today? Oh, we're cutting somebody good. What are you up to? You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. All right, I'm at the golf course. He's an absentee owner. He's an absentee owner. And I almost feel like I know how Detroit feels because they can't stand their owners because they've never won anything ever. And look what they have. Look what we have. Again, I know we won a division somehow, but it's just the whole thing surrounding it always smells bad. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, getting back to Jon Gruden, man. Well, first of all, yeah. But yeah, I get real quick before you go back to there. Yeah, man, I'm sorry about the whole Sean. Like you said, it's a good thing that this is happening to him. I just think it's horrible how they using him and but no, I'm glad you, like you said, you're just gonna focus on him today and what they're doing, how they're gonna honor him. But I just think, I'm sorry, man, that's just kind of low to me. But this Gruden thing, man. It just makes me mad on a bunch of different levels, man. Here you have, the NFL has these emails. They know what's going on. Just, it just really makes me think again. Makes me think hard about the NFL and just, it's tough, man. Because I love NFL football, but this organization, the NFL, is shady, man. It's shady. It's racist. These emails make me look at the NFL in a whole, I shouldn't say a whole new light, but I don't know, man. It's just making me think long and hard, man. They knew about these Jon Gruden things. You got Ted Allen. I'm sorry, Ted Allen, Bruce Allen, and Gruden felt comfortable to converse like this via email. You know what I mean? Like they felt comfortable enough. The NFL sees this stuff. They don't really do anything, but yet every week, they're hyping up like Black Lives Matter and end racism and all this. It's like they're hyping up all these, in social justice and all this stuff. Like they're acting like they care, which we know they're a corporation. They're just doing, whatever. Once again, PR and all that stuff. But yet you got this guy who's been in the league for years, one of the faces of the league saying this stuff.
And Monday Night Football.
Yeah, right. And it just makes me wonder, like, what's really going on behind the scenes? Like, what does the NFL? It's so hypocritical. You know what I mean?
Well,
And it's
because
like, and it just makes me shows like even more like how I was just so wrong with the whole Kaepernick stuff, man. Because it's like he just wanted to bring all this stuff to light. You know, they vilify him for this, right? Knowing all this stuff is going on in the meantime, man.
well, we already begin. We all know the NFL has had a black perception issue for a long time with head coaches and quarterbacks. And obviously GMs and ownership. Because again, we can't count the number of black owners because there aren't any.
Right.
And you got to be invited into that sort of club in order to have a team. So, in order to buy a team, I should say. Yeah, I mean, NFL, like a lot of other sporting things that have no minority owners or minority GMs, there's this. Even baseball has gotten a little bit better, but there was still flashback if they put a woman in charge. I know the Marlins recently hired a woman as a general manager, but there's this misogynistic view of they can't do this or they can't do that, and probably even is anybody going to hire Becky Hammond in the NBA? The NBA has less of that issue because they're way more diversified. There's actually a black owner in the league, way more black general managers who run teams. So it is a different view, but maybe they need to get over the misogyny part. But NFL has everything. That's it. That's an issue, and they let the teams. I think there's certain time. Again, Goodell works for the owners. His job is to be the fall guy for them and their decisions. Period. Not saying that he's the best person in the world. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, just think about I'm getting paid. You're paying me whatever millions to reflect the world. You know what I mean? In a way. And I also have to say things in order to make the people who work for the owners as well, the players, feel comfortable too. So it's a whole thing. So thing is like people, Goodell did this. The owners are telling them what to do. Because Washington, that ownership, that thing, he should have been gone a long time ago. Certain team, like, I'm not saying I don't know what they've done in Detroit. I know they got Ford Field and everything, and I know there's just certain teams that aren't gonna ever win certain. But I mean, my God, just the way I feel like certain organizations are running to the ground. They just let it go because are you bringing in money? Are you part of this club? That they just stick to, because that's how it is. And honestly, the thing is, I still remember that when Jerry Jones bought Dallas and he fired Tom Landry, they were losing their minds because Tom Landry was there since the beginning of time. And it was like, well, what's going on? Like, they take care of their own. Now, of course, Jerry's one of the big wigs.
Right.
So he can kind of do whatever he wants to do, and everybody follows suit. And, remember how Al Davis used to be? He was the renegade guy.
Yeah.
And before, I never really understood it. I'm like, why are you fighting against this system or wanting to move your team? Hey, you got it. And the thing is, I almost really feel like you can't blame somebody for trying to do what they feel like is best for their organization instead of, I don't know, moving them to Maryland for a sucky stadium that this team out of 31 NFL teams, 32, last in attendance. So you plan an alumni weekend, and earlier in the week, you decided that you're gonna, hey everybody, we're gonna retire Sean's number. What? Well, we know about the alumni weekend. You decided gonna retire his number on Thursday? What do you think, people? So before all the Kansas City people got all the tickets, because it's gonna be a Kansas City home game. You don't think people from Washington don't want to show up in their 21 jerseys and buying tickets? Because just imagine, B. I know the other day you said you had tickets to the Saints game. I'm like, I ain't going down there.
Yeah.
What if someone gave you tickets to this game and I didn't know? You asked me on Monday or Tuesday. And I would have been like, it's alumni weekend. No. Can you imagine how I would have felt Thursday or Friday? I would have drove down there and whooped his ass. I'm sorry. I would have. I would have found him, and I would be in jail right now.
Yo,
For
yeah,
today,
yeah, yeah,
and we found out on Thursday.
yeah.
This is who he is. This is who he is, and that's just the epitome to me of sometimes how the league treats their people. And that's why I think there's an upswell in a lot of other sports. NFL is always going to be the biggest guy in the room, right? They're just always going to be the biggest. But I feel like I have a better time when I go watch a soccer match. I feel like they're more in tune with me than just getting my money. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's more of an experience. When I go to an NFL game, or especially when I go to FedEx, there's no experience. The experience is the other people around me. It's not going to the stadium. You know, that's the one thing is going when I went to the games with you. It's the experience of it's a nice stadium, it's an ATM. You guys, it's like a bowl kind of thing, but it's pretty cool. But are you guys kind of are there? The field's not going to fall apart. It's just, and I know every time like, oh, let's go to a game down there. I do not enjoy going to that stadium. I've been down there for three different events: a soccer game, football game, and a movie night. and it's just a pain. And I just but that's how the owner. That's how it's been. So it's hard sometimes. But I know it's been a lot of time on Gruden, but it's been a joke.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I just feel, like I said, I love NFL football, man. But I don't know. I feel a little dirty inside of me, man, supporting this league now, man. Knowing that they don't support me, they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't care.
Yeah.
We don't. It's just a show. It's just like everything is just a performance. It's just a show, and I get it, but man, it's just really disappointing. And you know, the Players Association is now calling for the rest of these 650 emails to be released. Man, there's a lot. I know there's a lot of dirt, man. There's a lot of dirt flying that's going everywhere, man. We already saw the NFL General Counsel was they already leaked some of those emails. It's man, this is a dirty game. I mean, it's a dirty business, man. It's just it's a man. It's anyway, man. All right, let's get to the games. let's get to the games. First, let's review last week's games, man. I want to know what were your surprises from last week, Kurt? Any surprises?
No, I don't think so. I think we were pretty good on the people we picked, I guess.
Yeah,
nothing. I mean, I picked the Giants because I hate Dallas. So I'm always going to pick against Dallas anyway. But maybe the Buffalo Kansas City game.
Yeah, that was
Buffalo controlled that whole game.
Yeah.
And that was just weird. Like just seeing Kansas City off. Now, mind you, Kansas City's been off a lot this season, but just seeing them off this much is just a weird feeling. Like you expect them, like, oh, they're gonna wake up, they're gonna come back, and they didn't, and they haven't this season. So it's not like this is their first loss. So just seeing them struggle like other teams is just weird. It's just a weird feeling for. It's just like. Now again, they're not going to struggle today, at all. They're not. They're not going to struggle one bit. They're actually going to have a really, really, really great day today. So if you have a survivor pick them today, because they're not losing. Start everybody they have on fantasy because they're going to do well. Just saying. And we'll get into that matchup later, but they're going to win, and it's not going to be close.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just weird seeing them sputter. I mean, they're 2-3.
Yeah.
I don't remember them losing 3 games in a season.
Yeah.
Now they lost to 3 really good teams, though. I'm not saying that they just end up losing, but they gave up 30 points to the Eagles too. You know what I mean? It's like So in the next couple of weeks, they're going to have 3 straight wins unless something crazy happens. So they should be fine there to get back over 500. And then after that, it's a little bit sketchy. Their season gets a little bit harder, but I'm not too worried about them as far as them making the playoffs. But it is weird seeing them kind of dominated by Buffalo the way they
were. Yeah. And I gotta give Buffalo credit. I mean, they're looking like the best team in the AFC right now, probably maybe even in football right now. They have a great defense. Remember, I was talking to you and Dan. Gee, should I bench the Bills defense in order to win this fantasy game? Man, if I had done that, that would have been one of the stupidest decisions I ever done. Because
it wouldn't be the dumbest though. It wouldn't.
Don't remind me.
Number one is cemented.
Yeah, we know. We don't have to revisit that one.
You sure?
Yeah.
No, we will one day.
Yeah. But no, man. Yeah, I mean, Buffalo looks really good, man. Josh Allen played well, but I was just really impressed by the defense. They were able to get pressure on Mahomes. Mahomes was off all game. The game really wasn't even close. Like you said, Buffalo controlled the whole game, so I really like that. The other game that was a bit of a surprise, now not as much, now that we have more context, but that was the Bears absolutely dominating the Raiders, man. I mean, it was 20-9, but they were in control of that game. It was in Vegas. And they were in total control of that game, man. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely a distraction, man. All that stuff going down with Gruden. That was another surprise. Another game which I thought was a good game was the Chargers and the Browns. Not surprised that the Chargers won, but more so surprised that they gave up 42 points. I mean, it was just back and forth, man. And yeah, man, they're a good team, man. Justin Herbert, man, good Lord, man, that guy, man, that dude is a beast. But yeah, that was another surprise. Houston really should have beat New England, man. They really could have beat New England.
David Mills had a good game.
Yeah, he was.
I call him Ronald Mills.
Yeah. And I guess one of the biggest takeaways I came away from Week 5, man, was
Detroit should have won too.
Huh?
Detroit should have won too.
Oh yes. Oh man. And once again, kickers suck. That's all I'm gonna say. Yo, that Cincinnati Green Bay game, where they missed like 5 field goals in a row, dude, that was crazy.
But again, the Colts. We'll get to that game later. But man,
we're gonna get to that game.
But dude, I don't know what's in those tribifocals that Blankenship got, but for real. Dude out there looking like Cyclops, from the X-Men. Like, I don't know what's going on, man. Those things had to be fogged up or something. That's just kickers. Again, kickers are an integral part of football. I'm not saying that, but I feel like the relevance more and more is just going to get waned out because, again, teams go for 2 more now than they do, or teams go for it on 4th down more than trying a 50-yarder or 40-yarder. And of course, it depends on who your kicker is. But there's been so many last week was just extra point miss, extra point miss, extra point miss, extra point. Every game was like, yo, dude, what is going on? It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I think every game had a missed kick last week. I mean, it was crazy.
It felt that way because you're gonna get all these odd 13. Like Washington scored 22 because we missed a kick and we had to go for 2. 22 points is a weird football thing. Cincinnati had 22. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, how do you come up with that? Houston had 22.
Yeah, right. So. Yeah, Dan Campbell, he was crying. Yeah, you see he really cares. Yeah, he cares, man. He lost 2 games, 19-17 on last-minute kicks and like within the last third. I mean, it was only 37 seconds left in that game, man. Field goal. Oh, wow. It was 25 missed kicks. Wow, that's ridiculous. And that's why it makes me appreciate the greatness of Justin Tucker, man, even more, man. It's so I think sometimes in Baltimore we take for granted just how good this dude is, man. Like he's pretty Matt Tuck, as they say. So
if there's a town that does not overlook a player, this town does not overlook Justin Tucker. So I would never. There's no other place in the NFL where you will actually see on the street a kicker's jersey on the back of people.
It's so funny you say that because as the game was coming on Monday night, and you know how they're showing the crowd and you show the fans walking into the stadium. I was like, Leslie, look at this. I paused the screen. I was like, Leslie, there's 3 people wearing Justin Tucker's jerseys. And this was just from the quick snippet of them showing fans walking in the stadium. Like, who, but like, to your point, who does that? And there were 3 on the screen, 3 people wearing Justin Tucker's jersey. I was like, wow.
He's never taken for granted here, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
I never want you to hear those words come out of your mouth again.
He's the only player on the team with a major endorsement deal. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, as he should be, because Elodie Nada's gone. So he's the only other guy on this team that has a personality, to be honest.
Well, he has more endorsements than the superstar quarterback, which we're about to get to in a second.
Yeah, but again, personality-wise, Lamar's not like the personality. You know, and
he's a different personality. He's a different personality.
Yeah, but this is the way he speaks as well. Just not like this, you know.
Yeah.
You know, hey everybody, come to the. It's just not. That's not him.
Speaking of, you know what? Speaking of,
Lamar, but I told you Washington was going to lose last week.
Yes, you did.
And they did. And I knew, and they're going to lose this week. And they're going to lose next week. But we're not even at next week. But they're going to lose today and next week.
Oh, boy.
So,
all right, man.
But the big thing, too, coming out of everything is,
yeah.
Is, or Ed Reed. Ed Reed, don't forget Ed Reed.
Yeah, Ed.
Is the Russell Wilson. So I know we kind of talked about it because that was the Thursday night game last week.
Yeah, we talked about
the
that
week before. Yeah, but he's out for like a longer period of time.
How long is he out for?
Because he's on IR. I don't think he can return past like week 10 or 11 because of surgery that he had to have.
Okay, but they did place him on IR?
Yeah, they did place him on IR. Yeah, I mean, who else? Someone else went on IR recently too.
Oh,
McCaffrey.
He went back on IR.
Yeah, he went back on IR. So yeah, when people talk about Dalvin all the time, they said that McCaffrey hasn't started like back-to-back games since 2019 or something.
That's crazy.
So like week 1 or 2 or something like that. So, but yeah, so Russell's on IR. He's out through week 9.
Wow.
Yeah, due to the surgery.
First time in his career he's missed a start.
Yeah. So because he was an Iron Man for a little bit, the current one. So yeah, so no surprises last week. But let's just get to the game that we want to talk about.
Yeah, the Ravens game. Like I said, it was completely overshadowed by John Gruden. The Ravens were down 22-3 in the third quarter. Man, the game was sucking. Then out of nowhere, Lamar and the offense woke up, won the game. Before you know it, dude, I didn't even realize this as the game was going on. This guy had one of the greatest performances of a quarterback ever. I mean, this dude was 37 of 43. He only had 6 incompletions, 442 yards, 62 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions. I mean, dude, this dude was unbelievable. So I'm just going to tell y'all now.
Well, hold on. Before we get into that, we got to say Carson Wentz had a good game too.
No, that's
he
nice.
Did. He was actually Carson Wentz.
He had the best game of his career. He had the best game of his career. That's nice.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Crazy. But go ahead.
But we're not here to talk about that. To all the haters and all the doubters, just stop. Just go. I don't want to hear it. I get so sick of these false narratives about Lamar Jackson, and these myths and these false narratives. I'm so sick of it. I don't want to hear it no more. I just don't want to hear it. If you have anything negative to say about this man passing the ball, just go. You can't even talk to me. I don't want to hear it. All we hear is this guy won the freaking MVP 2 years ago, leading the league in touchdown passes. But all we've heard for the past 2 years is that this guy needs to learn how to throw the football. He can't throw. Last year, the narrative was, here's the narrative. He regressed. This guy had a historical season for a quarterback 2 years ago. There was no way he was going to top that because he did something that no one has ever done. There was no way he was going to top that or even get close to the numbers. But because they're slightly lower, he regressed. I'm sick and tired of it. Oh, he only threw for 2,800 yards. You know why? Because the Ravens ran for 3,200 yards. They're basically rushing for 200 yards a game. Oh, Lamar, he can't bring the team from behind. You know why? You know why, Hurt? Because they start some games at halftime with the lead. They're in the lead. They're front runners. They get the lead early and they run the ball, drain the clock. Like, but he can't bring anybody from because he hasn't had to. But then when he gets in the playoffs and they get down and they don't win those games. Lamar can't bring me back. Never mind you. Not only did he win a playoff game last year, but he won a playoff game back. But he won a playoff game after being down by double digits. But I like how we conveniently forget that. But anyway, I'm just sick of the narrative. I'm just sick of it. If you want to say Lamar needs to be consistent, fine. But this narrative, he can't throw the ball deep. He can't throw the ball deep. Did you watch this guy in college?
I did.
Lamar threw the ball deep all the time. He can't throw the ball outside the numbers. Did you watch the guy in college? Have you watched him his first 3 years? He can throw the ball outside the numbers. He needs to be more consistent. But I just hate it. Even during this broadcast, I'm hearing Louis Riddick or Derek Riddick, whatever the heck his name is.
Louis Riddick.
He misses Hollywood Brown on a throw that he's throwing to his left. Hollywood Brown is running to his left with a guy all on his back. It's a low throw, but it was a hard throw to make. Well, this is the type of thing Lamar needs to get better at working at. That was an easy throw. Should have been. Shut up. No, it wasn't. Have you talked about the fact that he's only missed 3 at that point? He had only missed 2 passes. Only 2 passes weren't complete at that point. So then I just get so sick of these false narratives. So I don't want to hear Lamar can't come back from double digits. I don't want to hear that Lamar can't win with his arm. I don't want to hear Lamar can't throw. This dude is number 5 in passing right now. He's number 5 in passing. He's number 5, Hurt. He's thrown for over 1,500 yards. You know what that is? He played 5 games. That's over 300 yards a game, Hurt. He's 5th in passing. He's 8th in rushing right now. So I don't want to hear it. Just all the haters, all the doubters, y'all can go. Y'all can say what y'all want about Lamar. I don't care. He doesn't care. That's my quarterback. The dude is unbelievable. And by the way, all you bandwagoners now talking about Lamar's the real MVP, y'all need to shut up too. Because I don't want to hear it. That's all I kept hearing this week. Lamar's the MVP. He does more with less than anyone in the league. Where was this a couple weeks ago? Where was this? All I kept hearing about was Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott and Justin Herbert. Like, just go here somewhere. I can't stand it. I just get so sick and tired, of the media, mostly the national media. They create these false narratives, and they've been doing it this guy's whole career, college, especially since he's in the NFL. They create these myths, these false narratives, that somehow seem to come to define this guy and who he is. They never talk about what's the most important thing, Hurt. What's the most important thing about football, Hurt, for a quarterback?
Leadership.
Okay, and what else? The bottom line is you have to what? You play to what? You play to win the game.
To win the game.
No one ever everybody talks about his passing. No one ever talks about this guy is the winningest quarterback in his first 50 starts. Like, this dude just tied Dan Marino, dude. Like, no one has a better winning percentage than this guy in his first 50 starts. Nobody in the history of the league. But nobody talks about that. And that's the most important attribute of a quarterback, is to win games, right? It's to win games. The Ravens were 4-5, dude. They were 4-5 before he became the starter of the league. Since then, they're like 34-7, something crazy like that. And Hurt, guess what? He's only 24 years old. He's only 24. Guess you know what that means, Hurt? That means he could actually get better. He could actually get better, Hurt. He could actually develop. He won the MVP in his second year. He hasn't even scratched the surface yet. So anyway, I'm done on my rant because time is fleeting. I'm done my rant, but I just want to say to all the haters, all the doubters, y'all can go. I don't want to hear anymore. National media, stop creating these false narratives and these myths about this guy and just watch him play. Watch him play. All right, I'm done. I can't go with that.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time left. I got two things to say about Lamar. Where's this camera? Two things. Sorry about that. You know how I've always defended Lamar, right? Because I'm not a person. I've seen quarterback. I've seen him in college, but I believe in quarterbacks who can throw and can run. And the NFL has always been resistant, and its fans and other people have always been resistant to accept that sort of thing, right? Well, Lamar Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar MVP, Lamar who's getting his retired number by Louisville.
Yes.
The second quarterback from Louisville to get his number retired.
Who was the first?
The other guy?
Who was the first?
Well, I know. You need to say it because you know I know.
One of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL and in the history of Baltimore football, Johnny U.
Yeah, whose stadium is at Towson, of course.
Exactly.
And the other thing I'm going to say before we move on to our picks is that Lamar has more total yards than 18 NFL teams. Lamar, by the way, Lamar isn't a team; he's a person.
Right.
He's a person. He has more total yards than 18 NFL teams.
That's crazy.
One more time. Lamar
Jackson.
Quarterback, not team, just himself personally, has more total yards than 18 NFL teams. I'm not a fan of the team at all. Everybody knows I'm not a Crows fan. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot that game is going on in London. We got to pick that game.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, let's get to our week 6 picks.
Yeah, let's get to our pick.
All right. So, yeah, that's it. All right. Thank you for reminding us that there's a game going on. All right. Our first game pick of the week, Miami, Jacksonville. Who you got? In London.
I'm taking the Dolphins, man. They got to win this game. Come on, Miami.
Yeah, they don't have a choice. They have to win this game. So I'm picking Miami as well. All right. Carolina at home to Minnesota. Who you got?
I'm taking the Vikings, man. I think the Vikings playing good ball right now, and I think, oh man, that's gonna be tough though. No, I'm taking Minnesota. I'm taking Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota should have lost to Detroit. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota. I don't know if it's Zimmerman. I don't know if it's the coach. Live updates on the podcast or correspondent on the not at the game, but for the day. I'm going to pick Minnesota because I feel like Carolina is on a little down slope. But I don't know what's going on with that team, but there's something going on there. That's not like a positive thing. But if they can win this game, that'd be helpful. Green Bay, one of the oldest rivalries, on the road to Chicago. Who you got?
Yeah, man, I'm taking Green Bay. Although I really do think the Bears are going to keep this close, though.
This game is always close. This is a rivalry game. Not always. There's been some blowouts, but I think A-Rod is going to do well this game. I think Fields is actually going to do okay. But I think Green Bay is going to win this game.
All right.
Cincinnati on the road at winless Detroit. Do you smell an upset?
I got to take the Lions today, man.
Wow. Is it because you want the Lions to win or?
Yeah, I want the Lions to win, but I feel like they've been so close. The Lions could have won 3 of these games. Cincinnati's tough, but come on, they got to beat it.
Listen, I like Cincinnati. I picked them. They should have won last week, honestly. I picked them to win last week. They should have won that game. For some reason, I feel like Detroit will win this game. I don't know why, but I feel like Detroit's going to win this game. A battle of 1 and 4 teams, Houston and Indianapolis. Who's going to win, and do we care?
The Colts are going to win this game.
I'm picking the Colts, and no, we don't care. The Saints.
No.
The Rams on the road at the New York Football Giants. So we got.
Hold on real quick. Burrow should be playing. I haven't heard that he's not going to play, so pretty sure he's going to play.
Yeah, I think he was a little banged up last week, but yeah.
I would take the Giants this game, honestly, but they had so many injuries last week. I don't know what the injury situation is, but I'm going to take the Rams only because the Giants sustained so many injuries last week.
Yeah, Danny Dimes is playing, but of course Saquon and Galladay are out. I'm going to take the Rams. I just feel like they're going to tough this one out. I know that West to East thing. I just think they're a better team. They're healthier, and I think they're going to win this game.
All right.
We have, let's go to the fours real quick. Arizona on the road at Cleveland. I mean, you got 101. You got two former Oklahoma Heisman Trophy winner quarterbacks going at it this game. So is it going to be Kyler or is it going to be Baker?
I would love for Arizona to win this game. I really would. I think I'm going to go with the Browns. Man, I really need the Cardinals to win this game, though, but I think the Browns going to pull it out.
I'm going to go for Cleveland. Kingsbury's out with COVID.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How many players got hit with COVID?
I'm not sure about the players. I know the quarterback's coach is out.
Because I know early in the week there was some players, and they was concerned that if a certain amount of players.
Oh yeah. So they don't have to go in like the super supreme protocol.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think that not having their head coach there was gonna just be enough to pull them off, and Cleveland needs this win.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Yeah. So that just makes it even more certain to me that they're going to win that game.
Yeah. So who Arizona?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Cleveland.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going with Cleveland. The Raiders, I guess, because they kind of lost their edge on the road to Denver.
I'm going to take the Raiders this game because I'm looking at it from the standpoint. I think the Raiders are so glad to be on the football field and don't have to answer questions about John Gruden anymore. I think they're going to come out and play hard, and they're going to beat the Broncos.
Okay, I'm going to pick Denver. It's a rivalry game. You know, they don't like each other. I still think they're going to be reeling a little bit from what happened last, because remember, they had him last week. Then he was fired this week during the middle of the week. So it's not in the middle of the week. It was Monday night. But it's still, having to adjust to the new regime for the rest of the week. I'm not saying that it can't come out galvanized. I just think Denver's just going to kind of win this game. Okay. 425, we got Dallas at New England. Who you got?
This one just makes me want to puke. I hate the Patriots. I can't stand the Patriots, dude. But I'm going to be their biggest cheerleader today. I need Belichick. I hate you. I need you. I really need you to. I need you and Mac Jones to do something today. I cannot take the Cowboys win. Like, they're 4-1. They're looking great. I mean, I hate to say it, but man, Bill, please, dude, Judon, come on. I need the Patriots to win, but I'm picking the Cowboys. But man, I really need the Patriots to do something, man.
I'm picking New England again. If looking great means that you beat the Eagles, Panthers, and Giants, okay, whatever. I'm picking New England. I can't, because I swear if they win this game, it's just gonna be just whatever.
I know, dude.
All right, 8:25 Sunday night special. We have Geno and the Smiths on the road at Pittsburgh. Which, by the way, I'm not watching this game at all.
Yeah,
literally would not be on my TV.
Man, this would have been such a good game, man, if freaking Russell Wilson didn't get hurt. God dang it, man. The Steelers, man, so freaking lucky, man. Yeah, they're winning this game. They're not losing to Geno Smith. Come on.
Yep, they're winning. I got Pittsburgh winning. Monday night game, we got Buffalo at Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The Titans don't have a chance. I mean,
no, because they have zero defense. Zero defense. By the way, the Dolphins have scored. 0 Miami.
Oh, good job.
So Tua is 8 of 10 with a touchdown.
All right. Okay.
To Jalen Waddle.
Oh.
There you go. They're going to get back in their winning ways.
Ravens pass rushers get better. I don't think it's that they necessarily get better, Jay. I just think they get in a system that lets their talent shine a little bit better. That's all.
Yeah, it's a different system. I don't say, I don't want to say they would get better. It's just a system because they a lot of those guys drop back. They play multiple places. So in this defense, so I think it's a bit different. But let's start with the blowout of the day. KC is on the road at Washington. How much is KC going to win by?
I'll say 4. No. KC's defense stinks. Their defense stinks. They have a lot of injuries. Tyreek Hill may play. He's probably going to play.
They said Tyreek Hill's going to play.
Okay, what about the tight end, Kelsey? Is he playing today?
They didn't say he wasn't.
Okay. It's gonna be closer. I'll say they're gonna win 33-28 today. I just don't like the football team. I mean, I just don't like KC's defense, and I think Washington has enough on offense where they can run the ball. So they're gonna win. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout, but what do I know?
Yeah, KC's gonna win. It may not be by 40, but it could be by 17 or something. I just think they're gonna just keep pressing. Unless Washington's defense decides to actually show up one day and do what they need to do, but I think KC's winning this game, and it's going to be somewhat competitive, but not to the point where Washington's threatening them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I got KC winning, and the good game, because Baltimore has not played a boring game this season. No. We have Justin Herbert coming over for another west to east. Coming over facing your guys and down at the big ATM, man. Who you got?
The battle of Week 5 MVPs, Hurt.
Well, yes, yeah, and Kyler Murray. You know he's playing in 4 or 5 because he's 1-1. Don't forget that.
Yeah, he is 1-1. I honestly don't think the Ravens are going to win this game. I do not like this matchup. Defensively, I just don't see how the Ravens. I don't know how the Ravens are going to stop Mike Williams or Keenan now. Or Eckler is scaring me too because the Ravens, for whatever reason, this is uncharacteristic of them, but they can't stop the run this year. I don't know why. And not only can they stop the run, but they cannot stop screen passes to the running backs, which was on display when Jonathan Taylor took a screen pass for 76 yards. I just don't like this matchup. Yeah, I don't like this matchup at all. I'm gonna go Chargers here. I think the Chargers will win by 6 points.
All right. This is gonna be again one of those tight games. Chargers defense has played a little bit better. I think Eckler could have even though he had a really good game last game.
Deshaun Elliott was a full participant in practice this week, so he may be back hurt. I mean, maybe back, Jay.
Yeah, because I don't have no idea who that is. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just laughing.
I got the Chargers winning. I think they could keep the ball away from Lamar, and I think it could come down to time of possession. Honestly, it could come down to what do you do with that time of possession? Can they turn that into points? And I think it's going to be like a 3-point game. So, yeah. But I have the Chargers winning, but it's going to be a tough game. But it's going to be exciting because I like the Chargers. I like Herbert. I like their brand of football, what they're doing. They seem really galvanized together, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, they like to go for it on 4th and 8 on their own 20. So yeah,
which because you should punt, but they definitely don't kick field goals. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. And the Thursday night game this week is Denver at Cleveland.
Yeah. Cleveland's winning that game.
And guess what? I'm not watching that game either. I'm picking Cleveland to win that as well. So,
all right,
not too bad. We basically hit everything we needed to. Any final thoughts for this last two couple minutes we got?
No, man. I just had to go off on some people today. I think I did that. I'm good, man.
I had to go off on people too. And again, just the whole narrative. I'm not a fan. Everybody knows I'm not a fan of the Crows, but if Lamar is giving you W's, get over it. People need to get over it. But I know how the NFL is. The NFL, honestly, to be truthful with you, and fans of other teams, they don't want him to succeed because they would feel like the whole way that football has been raised since birth would change. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
It's so stupid, man.
That's all it is. We don't need, not every team needs a statue back there throwing the ball. This is not every team. So just get over it. It is what it is. And congrats to him to get his number retired at Louisville. And I'm glad he did graduate because I was tired of him running all over Florida State. So with that being said, thank you everybody. We couldn't really get into a lot because we had a lot of sports. It's just NBA, NHL, start all these things going on. So we'll get to, hopefully, even though we'll have the first week of NBA to talk about, hopefully no injuries, and who knows, there might be more emails that somebody sends to someone else. But thank you everybody for tuning in. StreamYard, you can follow us on YouTube. You can subscribe and like us. We definitely would appreciate it. We're also on Facebook, IG, and the Twitter, as well as Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, and Stitcher apps. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find N1MD Podcast. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Peace out, y'all.